With how large the United States is, there are many crimes that go on throughout the country at any given moment. However, some are so heinous that they break laws that must be tracked down by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, with its purpose being to publicize particularly dangerous fugitives who might not otherwise merit nationwide attention. This is the FBI's Top 10 Most Wanted list. In 1949, a journalist with the International News Service conducted an interview with the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, J. Edgar Hoover. One of the major questions he asked were who were the top 10 toughest guys he wanted to capture. The published article that answered this question gained so much attention that on March 14th of 1950, the Department of Justice and the FBI announced an official top 10 most wanted list of their most dangerous criminals. Number 1 on that list was Thomas James Holden. Not much is known about Thomas James Holden's early life, but after being arrested for multiple robberies as leader of the Holden-Keating gang, he was released from Alcatraz in 1947. However, the event that put him on the radar took place on June 5, 1949. At 3:15 a.m., Chicago police received a call about shouting coming from a fourth-floor apartment accompanied by 4 gunshots. When police arrived, they found the bodies of a woman and 2 men, along with a wounded woman who was shot in the cheek by a .38 revolver. According to her, Holden, after a drunken argument, had shot his wife and her 2 brothers, then went on the run. 9 months later, the International News Service released the article with J. Edgar Hoover, and it put his name in every newspaper in the country. In 1951, an Oregon reader noticed his mugshot in the paper and recognized him as a worker on a building being remodeled nearby in Beaverton. The FBI arrested him, and after trying to lie his way out, he finally admitted they caught the right guy. On Saturday, October 16, 2021, 17 Christian missionaries from Ohio-based Christian Aid Ministries were returning from a visit to an orphanage when they were abducted by the 400 Maoiseaux in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. The ministry consisted of 5 men, 7 women, 4 children, and an 8-month-old baby. Alongside the 400 Maoiseaux was the Kras Berrier, possibly the largest Haitian gang in Port-au-Prince, led by Vitel'Homme Innocent. They held the hostages for 61 days and demanded ransom payments for their release. Vitel'Homme was also charged with ordering the kidnapping of an American couple in Haiti on October 7th of 2022. During the kidnapping, Marie Odette Franklin was shot and killed by gang members, while her husband, Gene Franklin, was taken to an undisclosed location for ransom. Innocent, along with 2 other gang leaders, were sanctioned by the United Nations for extensive human rights violations for the gang activity's plethora of violent crimes including murder, rape, drug, and weapon crimes. Gangs have taken over Haiti, as the government is powerless to do anything against the coalition of gangs named Vivre Ensemble, or Live Together, of which he is a part of. Vitel'Homme Innocent was added to the top 10 most wanted list on November 15th of 2023. He is believed to be in Haiti and has ties to other countries throughout the Caribbean. He is wanted for the following crimes: conspiracy to commit hostage-taking, conspiracy to commit hostage-taking resulting in death, attempted hostage-taking resulting in death. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $2 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Vitel'Homme Innocent. He is considered armed and dangerous. Villegas-Palomino, aka El Puerco or the Hog, is a ranking member of the National Liberation Army, or Ejército de Liberación Nacional, or ELN, a transnational criminal organization and foreign terrorist organization. He is in charge of the ELN Northeastern Warfront, one of 6 regional ELN warfronts that control the Catatumbo area of Colombia and Venezuela. They oversee 70 laboratories that collectively produce an estimated 200 tons of cocaine annually to be transported worldwide. Nearly 80% of cocaine in America is produced by Palomino. The money from these drugs fund terrorist attacks, launch sabotage operations, buy political influence, and engage in other corrupt activities designed to destabilize the government and subvert U.S. national security and law enforcement in the region to better help the ELN in its efforts to bring about its political ideas regarding communism. FBI Special Agent Gil Lopez, Assistant Legal Attaché in Bogota, Colombia, explains.
When Villegas-Palomino took place in this organization and when he was in control of the northeastern war front, this organization was receiving more money from drug trafficking than the organization had ever received in the whole history. So what I'm trying to say is that the production of cocaine in his time has been the most remarkable in Colombia since they started. So that's how much influences and control Villegas-Palomino has over the region, over the farmers, over the kids, over the government, and with his organizations.
Wilver Villegas-Palomino was added to the top 10 most wanted list on April 14, 2023. He is a Colombian national and speaks Spanish. He is wanted for the following crimes: narco-terrorism, international cocaine distribution conspiracy, international cocaine distribution. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Wilver Villegas-Palomino. He is considered armed and dangerous. Sometime in 2014, a cryptocurrency company called OneCoin was founded by Ruja Ignotova in Bulgaria. She claimed to have a Bitcoin killer currency and in 2016 spoke in the Wembley Arena to thousands of people about it.
And this is who we are, global citizens of a small world wanting to make a change. So, in the last 2 years, I've been called a lot of things. And probably the best thing that the press called me was OneCoin, who is supposed to be the Bitcoin killer. Well, I must say I like it. And you all know, since we mined our first coin in January 2015, our growth exploded. Sebastian and Kari showed us the numbers. Today, over 2 million users. Users means active users. Our database has easily more than 12 million entry points. But these 2 million are active users. And no other cryptocurrency has as many users as we do.
Millions of dollars would flow through the company through investments. They sold the idea of their private blockchain through investment packages where people could use their tokens on an exchange. The more money you invest, the more money you can turn into euros or pounds at a later date. You could also increase your profits by bringing others into the fold. However, things were not as they seemed. A few months later, OneCoin contacted blockchain expert Bjorn Bjerk to be their chief technical officer. His job would include creating the blockchain that should have already existed. Promises of the exchange opening kept getting delayed as Ruja kept living a lavish lifestyle of parties and yachts. She was to appear at a conference for OneCoin investors in Lisbon, Portugal, to clear up confusion around the delays. However, she never showed. FBI documents later revealed she boarded a plane to Athens, Greece, 2 weeks after the conference, and was never seen again. It boiled down to an alleged multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme where customers invested into premium packages where others were brought in to do the same. IRS Special Agent in Charge John R. Tafur would later say, "This is an old scam with a virtual twist." Her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, would later be arrested in Los Angeles and charged for various fraud crimes along with his sister and a third unnamed member who would launder the money. The FBI continues to search for her under the assumption she's alive. However, in 2023, a Bulgarian investigative reporting site, the Bureau of Investigative Reporting and Data, or BIRD, published a report on Bulgarian police documents in which a police informant had overheard Georgi Vasiliev, the brother-in-law of the Bulgarian drug lord Taki Christoforos Amanetides, while drunk, stating that Ignotova was murdered in November of 2018 on Taki's orders. The alleged murderer, Hristo Hristov, is currently serving a sentence in a Dutch prison for drug trafficking. The report states Ignotova was murdered aboard a yacht in the Ionian Sea, and her body was dismembered and thrown overboard with the alleged motive of concealing Taki's involvement in the OneCoin scam. This is supported by Interpol documents showing Taki was laundering money for her, and after her disappearance, some of her Bulgarian properties were being used by people connected to Taki. Ruja Ignotova, aka the Crypto Queen, was added to the top 10 most wanted list on June 30th, 2022. She may be traveling on a fraudulent passport, possibly German, and has known connections to Bulgaria, Germany, Russia, Greece, and the United Arab Emirates. She is wanted for the following crimes: conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit securities fraud. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Ruja Ignotova. On Friday, May 11, 2012, Arnoldo Jiménez and Estrella Carrera were married at City Hall in Chicago, despite what some describe as a volatile relationship. Estrella was supposed to pick up her 2 kids the next day, but when she didn't show, she was reported missing. On Sunday, her body was found in the bathtub of her condo in Burbank, still in her silver sequined cocktail dress she wore to celebrate the wedding. She had been stabbed more than 18 times, and her body was dragged to the apartment from the back of Jiménez's black 2006 Maserati. On May 12th, it was discovered that he had made several calls from Chicago, Southern Illinois, Memphis, and then Arkansas, as he allegedly fled. On May 13th, he placed calls from Houston, then Hidalgo, Texas. One of the calls was to a relative where he told them he left his wife bleeding after a bad fight. About 5 months later, Jiménez's brother was arrested on a drug charge. During the arrest, Jiménez's Maserati was found in his garage with blood in the back seat. It is believed the couple had another heated argument, which led her to being stabbed in the back of the luxury car. Arnoldo Jiménez was added to the top 10 most wanted list on May 8, 2019. Jiménez may have fled to Durango, Mexico, specifically in the area of Santiago Papasquiaro. He may also frequent Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico. He is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, first-degree murder. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Arnoldo Jiménez. He is considered armed and dangerous. Between 2013 and 2017, Fields, a tree trimmer and used car salesman, was allegedly involved in a child sex trafficking ring. He allegedly received money, motorcycles, vacations, and Christmas presents from Theodore John Sartori Sr. in exchange for access with the victim. It is also suspected he did the same with 2 other victims, from which he was in charge of taking care of. Around the same time frame, 4 more victims came forward after his indictments. He was charged with 15 counts related to child sexual abuse and witness tampering when he threatened to kill one of the victims if they talked about what happened. Both Fields and Sartori were charged with child sex trafficking, with Sartori being arrested later that month. Fields has been missing since he failed to appear in court on March 2, 2022, and it is suspected he is being helped by a possible romantic partner, Jennifer Isgriggs, who is also a fugitive and may have changed her last name to Fields. Donald Eugene Fields II was added to the top 10 most wanted list on May 25, 2023. He has a scar on his chest, groin, left calf, on both legs, and both knees. He also has a tribal print tattoo on his right shoulder. He was last known to reside in Franklin County, Missouri, with family in Missouri and Kentucky. He is known to visit casinos and has traveled to Florida in the past. He is wanted for the following crimes: sex trafficking of children, The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Donald Eugene Fields II. He is considered armed and dangerous. On the morning of July 29, 2000, in Philadelphia, a local had given a homeless drifter work as a handyman in his apartment building who went by the name Carlos. He gave him food, clothes, and keys to the building. That evening, a 5-year-old child named Ariana de Jesus, who lived in the area, went missing after her mother turned away for a few moments to buy food. 6 days later, her body would be found in an empty apartment building. She had been sexually assaulted, strangled, wrapped in a trash bag, and left under rolls of carpeting. She was last seen with a Hispanic man matching Carlos's description. However, he was nowhere to be found and the case went cold. 4 years later in Arizona, a noise complaint was filed by the Phoenix Police Department. When they arrived, a man by the name of Alexis Flores gave the officers fake identification papers, a felony in Arizona leading to his arrest, resulting in his deportation to his home country of Honduras. 2 years later, in 2006, his DNA would be entered into CODIS, a criminal DNA database, and there would finally be a break in the murder of Ariana. The DNA proved Flores and Carlos were the same person and that the police had deported the man they were looking for. Alexis Flores was added to the top 10 most wanted list on June 2, 2007. He has scars on his forehead and right cheek. He also has ties to Honduras. He is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, kidnapping, and murder. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Alexis Flores. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. In the morning of August 15, 2019, Los Angeles, California, the hair icon barbershop located in a shopping center in Sylmar was having a normal business day when 6 shots rang out in the direction of the barbershop. Standing outside was Jabali Dumas, who was hit in the head according to Special Agent Michael Alker. He died at the scene. Surveillance footage shows Omar Alexander Cardenas, aka Dollar, an alleged member of either the Bequema Vanas Boys, aka the Anybody Killers, or possibly the Pierce Street Gang of Los Angeles, entering and leaving the parking lot at the same time of the incident. No motive is known at this time. Omar Alexander Cardenas, aka Dollar, was added to the top 10 most wanted list on July 20th, 2022. He wears thick prescription glasses and has at least 1 tattoo. He is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, murder. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Omar Alexander Cardenas. He is considered armed and dangerous. Yulan Adonay Archaga Carias, aka Porky, is the alleged leader of Mara Salvatrucha, or more commonly known as MS-13 for all of Honduras. To better understand why he is wanted, we must dive into the global criminal organization known as MS-13. Supervisory Special Agent Nick Durgan of the Safe Streets Gang Unit tells us their history.
When MS-13 started in the 80s in Los Angeles, they actually started as the Maristoners, and they were made up of kind of a group of El Salvadorans who were fleeing the violence and the civil wars that were taking place in El Salvador and Guatemala. They settled in Los Angeles, listening to rock music and just kind of hanging out and smoking marijuana and things like that. So they started recruiting members that were more violent. They quickly found that one of the gangs that they had to deal with was the Mexican Mafia, or La M. They evolved into MS-13 in order to pay homage to the Mexican Mafia so that they could continue to operate in California. They commit, violent acts worldwide to support their prestige, enhance their reputation, and to exert control on the territory and the populace with which they seek to influence. It's a very strange thing where, we typically kind of can't understand on the whole, what their end game is. In their view, by committing those violent atrocities, it makes people more fearful of them, allows them to conduct their operations, control territory, and exert kind of that control and influence the populations with which they intend to control. Because kind of once you've committed some of these violent, atrocious acts, you've kind of bought into the methodology, and it's really difficult to get out after you've done some of these things. They're also involved in a lot of illicit activities worldwide, to include extortion and narcotics trafficking, which, as we all know, affects a great number of people in the United States and elsewhere. MS-13 has what we like to refer to as a board of directors, and they have it on several levels. And that board of directors is mostly in El Salvador, but they also have country-specific leaders, several in the U.S., in Honduras, Guatemala, in the areas where they have the most prevalent activity.
They are involved in all facets of crime, including committing random murders with knives and machetes, child prostitution, protection rackets, firearms and drug trafficking, money laundering, and much more. In 2015, Attorney General William Barr announced that the Department of Justice had filed terrorism charges against another member, Armando Elu Melgar Diaz, bringing them to narco-terrorism. Yulan Adonay Archaga Carias, aka Porky, was added to the top 10 most wanted list on November 3, 2021. Investigators believe he only speaks Spanish and is still in Honduras. He is wanted for the following crimes: racketeering conspiracy, RICO; facilitating the transportation of multi-ton loads of cocaine through Honduras into the United States; cocaine importation conspiracy; possession and conspiracy to possess machine guns used or to be used by gang members to support international drug trafficking; possession of machine guns and conspiracy to possess machine guns; allegedly responsible for ordering and participating in the murder of several rival gang members and others associated with MS-13. In August 2018, a Honduran tribunal convicted Archaga Carias of conspiracy among other charges and sentenced him to prison. He escaped from Honduran custody in February 2020 when approximately 20 armed gunmen in police and military uniforms stormed a courthouse where he was scheduled for a hearing for his role in the murder of 2 Honduran prosecutors. 4 Honduran officers were killed during the escape. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Yulan Adonay Archaga Carias. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. Newlyweds Patel and his wife Palak were visiting the U.S. on a month-long honeymoon visa. However, once the month had ended, they did not return to their native home outside Mumbai, India. Instead, they moved in with Patel's family in New Jersey and later moved to Hanover, Maryland. On the night of April 12, 2015, the couple were working together at a Dunkin' Donuts. When no employees were found in the front of the shop, customers called upon a nearby officer to the scene, where he entered the back and found Palak's body in the back room. She had been stabbed multiple times in the upper body with a kitchen knife. After checking security footage, it was revealed that Patel was the alleged culprit. Palak was on a call with her family, stating how much she wanted to return home. An argument ensued as the two went into the back room, only for Patel to emerge alone. He then calmly fled the shop, going across the street to his apartment, grabbing his passport, new clothes, and money. He then took a taxi to a hotel near Newark Liberty International Airport. He checked out the next morning at 10 a.m., taking a hotel shuttle to Newark Penn Station, and was never seen again. It is believed to be a crime of passion. It's possible that he thought he would be disgraced by her leaving and going back to India, says Special Agent Jonathan Schaffer. Bhadreshkumar Chetanbhai Patel was added to the top 10 most wanted list on April 18, 2017. It is believed that Patel could be with distant relatives in the U.S., fled to Canada, or traveled from Canada back to India. He is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, dangerous weapon with intent to injure. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Bhadreshkumar Chetanbhai Patel. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. In 2016, Alejandro Rosales Castillo, aka Alex, and his two co-workers, Sandy Lee and Amia Feaster, worked together at Showmars in Charlotte, North Carolina. Castillo had dated Sandy for some time and had borrowed around $1,000 from her at one point during their relationship that he had never returned. They eventually broke up and he started dating Feaster a short time later. On August 9th, Sandy had told her uncle that Castillo wanted to return the $1,000 he owed her at a nearby Quick Trip. Then all three went missing. Sandy was reported missing on August 10th, then Castillo the next day. On August 15th, police got a call about an abandoned four-door red 2007 Dodge Caliber, which they later found belonged to Feaster. That Saturday, Feaster and Castillo's families received a call from them stating they were okay, but did not know where they were. On August 17th, Sandy's body was found in a nearby county. Castillo, along with Feaster, allegedly forced Sandy to withdraw all her money from her account before shooting her in the head and dumping her body in a ravine. The two then drove to Arizona in Sandy's car before crossing the border into Mexico. 19-year-old Feaster surrendered to authorities in Aguascalientes, Mexico, on October 20th, 2016. She is charged with several crimes related to the murder, including accessory after the fact. She stated that Castillo just disappeared and has no clue where he went. He was only 17 at the time of the murder. Alejandro Rosales Castillo, aka Alex, was added to the top 10 most wanted list on October 24, 2017. He has ties to Phoenix, Arizona, and he may reside in San Francisco de los Romo, Aguascalientes, or Pabellón de Artigas, Aguascalientes. He also may have traveled to the Mexican states of Guanajuato or Veracruz. He speaks fluent Spanish. He is wanted for the following crimes: unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, murder. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of Alejandro Rosales Castillo. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. Since its creation in 1950, 494 fugitives have been captured or located of the total 532 ever added to the list. 163 of them as a result of direct civilian cooperation, 2 of which were found from tips made after an FBI tour. If you have any information concerning any of the people mentioned in this video, please contact the FBI's tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-225-5324. You can also contact your local FBI field office, American Embassy or Consulate, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. Please note that all these individuals are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and therefore have only allegedly committed these crimes unless proven otherwise in a court of law. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for future uploads.